What you
Yeah.
end up doing is you end up rocking to and forth like this. And it's just like that. It's me. Oh, what's wrong with me?
Oh no. Self-realization. Self-realization.
Hug me, mummy. Welcome to another episode of Mildly Informed with me, Richie Firth, him, Chris Skinner, and for those of you watching the YouTube feed, I'm wondering whether the crooked picture behind you, Chris, is a metaphor for your life right now.
What, this one here?
Still not straight.
Oh, for crying out loud. It says love you with my whole, and I was wondering if you're implying that the actual message was a metaphor for my life and that I'm a loving, giving person.
At the beginning of every week, at the beginning of every episode, it's incumbent on me to find out for myself, selfishly, and for all of our audience, how you are, because it matters.
Well, I just before I came up to record, my wife walked home with our dog, Daphne, and all down one side of Daphne was fox shit. And she'd rolled around, and I've just seen a thunderous-faced wife drag the dog into the backyard to hose the dog down, yelling, "Bad dog!" And so however I am, Rich, I am better than my wife right now.
It's a really important lesson for everybody to remember. No matter how you're feeling, there's always someone feeling worse.
Yeah. And that's a good thing, is it?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, gosh. Shout out to anyone who's feeling worse than Richie and I now. We've got you. Rich, I hope you're well this week. Tell me you are.
Let's get straight into things, Chris. I am well. However, I have a blocked ear. And when that happens, it is the bane of my life. I don't know whether you suffer from the odd blocked ear. I do wonder whether working in the audio business like you and I do, whether we're more prone to it, wearing headphones and all that kind of stuff. But when I wake up and I've got a blocked ear, I know immediately that's me for a good few days because you've got to get an appointment. And I know that for a good few days, the following things are going to be happening. I'm going to be tripping up over things. I'm going to be in a bad mood because I'm not hearing as well as I normally would. I'm suddenly leaning into people like a 78-year-old rather than a 48-year-old. I know that it's going to take that slightest little bit off my speech as well, because you're hearing yourself back as you talk. And the only thing that a blocked ear has going for it is the process of how you fix it. And that, dear friends, is microsuction. Chris, are you aware of microsuction?
Well, I could guess, but I've never experienced this before and I've never seen it done. And I would love you to explain, like, is it mechanized, or is it like literally a suction cup to the ear?
It's not a suction cup to the ear. So back in the day, if you suffered from a buildup of earwax, because that's really what we're talking about right now, what you would used to have done is syringing. And what they would do is they would have a pump, an electric pump that would siphon hot water, not boiling, but just hot water into your ear, jetted in, sort of like a
douche.
Jet wash.
They would douche your ear.
Absolutely, they would. Yeah. And then a little kidney basin underneath your ear, and then out would come the water and the wax. And if there was more, they'd go again. But you'd have to sign a waiver every single time because there was the chance that you would get a perforated eardrum for it. Now, here we are in 2025. We know the environment we live in. They don't like risk these days. So syringing has gone. You can't get it done anywhere because people don't want the risk of having a perforated eardrum. What they do instead is a new system called microsuction. So this is simply where you lie down on a bed and you've got the audiologist looking into your ear. And the setup is thus. They've got a massive sort of magnifying glass that they're looking through into your ear. They'll then put in your ear a tiny little metal conical, and through that goes the kind of thing. Think when you're in the dentist and you've got the sucky thing in your mouth. Well, it's a pointed, sucky thing that they're putting right into your ear canal. It's microsuction. Let's call it for what it is. It's nothing more than a little Hoover. And what it does is it sucks up bits of wax. They pull it out. Depending on what the audiologist is like, they might show you the bit of wax that they've just got out and then they'll put it on the side. And they're basically sucking out bits of wax bit by bit. Now, if you've got a massive build-up, or if it's particularly hard wax, you might have a little bit of wax that comes out that is actually like the size of, I don't know, like a little woodlouse or whatever. And it's just been
What?
blocking up your ear canal. It's incredible stuff. It's incredible. So you've got that sensation of being able to look at the wax afterwards. And then final thing, that is what gives microsuction, because that's what I'm reviewing. It's what gives microsuction a 5-star review. It feels like you've gone into an ear shop and you've bought brand new ears, because when you walk out after microsuction, I promise you, you can hear your shirt against the back of your neck. And as you move your head from side to side, you can hear the sound of your shirt collar against the hairs on the back of your neck. That is how good your hearing is. And you realize what you were going around like before.
How many times have you had this done?
I'd say it's probably yearly.
Right. And can I ask, do you just take the first pair of headphones you see when you get to work, or do you have your own pair?
I use only my own pair of headphones.
And how often do you replace those headphones?
I don't remember replacing them.
I'm trying to, I understand about build-up of wax in the ear. I get it, yeah? And that procedure, I kind of get the sort of pleasure-pain element of it and the satisfaction.
No. There's no pain. There's no pain. There's no pain right now.
That's traumatic. For me, the pain might not be physical, but having someone with a micro hoover in my ear sucking up insect-sized lumps of wax and showing them to me is psychologically damaging. As much as I appreciate the sensation might be valid.
So if there was a knock on your door, 5:30 on a Sunday night,
Yep.
and Laura goes to open the door, she's just hosed off a shitty dog, and she opens it and goes, "Chris, it's Richie at the door. He's offering to go and buy you 2 new ears. You're not coming with me to go and get microsucked."
I never said I wouldn't do it, but I just said it sounds pleasure pain. Trust me, for my own good, I am very prepared to experience pain. I'm quite into that kind of thing for the bigger picture. But I'm not saying I'd be like, whoopee, it's the best thing I've done this year, 5 stars.
Now, obviously, this isn't done for free. So the final question I want to ask you is, how much do you think you're paying to get both ears microsucked? Basically come away with brand new hearing. How much do you think you're paying? It's a private procedure.
You're in there for up to an hour, aren't you?
No. You'd be unlucky if you're in there for longer than half an hour.
All right, 50 quid.
Very interesting. £59.
Oh, there we go.
There you go. For 2 new ears.
Look, I think it's money well spent, mate. Particularly as you are a broadcaster. It's kind of useful.
That's very kind of you to say that I am. Not many people agree.
So-called broadcaster. Have you ever had a colonic?
No, but I'd love one. I love the idea of it. Have you had a colonic?
No, I haven't, but in many ways I see it as the microsuction of the bum.
Yes.
And I just wonder if you'd get the same sort of joy.
Oh my God, I've got an idea.
No. No.
Can we take the Patreon money and go and have a show colonic together?
Today, live, it's Richie and Chris and Dr. Jeff. 2 pipes, 1 machine, 1 podcast.
Who's full of the most shit? Chris, we've got to do it. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. Mildly informed podcast at gmail.com. Actually, it's not a podcast, is it? It's just Mildly Informed Pod. I'm so excited. Mildly Informed
Just
Pod
go to
at
the Patreon. Go to the Patreon.
Can we
Support
have
Mildly
a
Informed on Patreon.
Can we have a new tier? A new tier called
Well,
Colonic.
well, given that the top tier is already called Ask Dongler, I think that's close enough.
Oh dear. Right, 5-star review for Microsuction, and a show Colonic could be happening.
Talking of the Patreon, in our prep for the show, unbelievably, there is prep. We discovered that there is something that we both want to discuss for the first time ever.
It's never happened. It's never happened.
So we're going to have that out on the Patreon this week. The first ever snap. Is that right?
It certainly is. On the Patreon episode this week, you will hear Chris and I organically reviewing exactly the same thing that has happened and that we've been experienced. We've spoken no more about it. We don't truly know what each other's point of view is, but we know we want to talk about the same thing, and what could happen could be explosive.
I genuinely cannot wait. I genuinely can. I think we're going to have different takes. I think some stuff we'll align on. Some stuff we'll be aligned on. Some stuff I think we're going to be a long way apart.
That's only on the Patreon episode, so find us on Patreon. Chris, in the meantime, I'm sure plenty else has been going on this week that you want to tell us about and review. What's on your mind?
I want to review something that happened on the 19th of October. About 9:30 in the morning, a team of what we think was 4 people launched a raid on the Louvre. They attacked the southeast facade, I understand, and they used a truck-mounted basket lift to reach a first-floor window. They used angle grinders, power tools. They smashed 2 display cases. They stole 8 items of jewelry linked to the French royal family. We know that's historic. They haven't had a royal family for some time. Amazingly, a 9th item was retrieved at the scene. They dropped something on the escape. The estimated value is 88 million euros. It took less than 7 minutes to do this, and they fled on motorbikes or motor scooters. A week almost has passed. The museum was closed down. There's hundreds of cops on the case. The Louvre has subsequently admitted they don't even have a camera on these priceless jewels. Rich, if I wrote a movie script and I said, here's the heist, you'd be, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it? It wouldn't play out like that. What is this, a comedy caper? It's absolute bullshit. It happened. And I'm not here to condone crime, yeah? Stealing stuff ain't cool. But this is like, if you could imagine, like I say, the ultimate, like, dream scenario. What is the greatest museum art gallery crime you can imagine? It's this. It happened. There are some people now smelting away or selling to the black market $100 million of priceless jewels. Even my 6-year-old, every morning she comes down the stairs, she hears the radio on, and she goes, "What's happening with the jewels?" We're obsessed with it. We're obsessed with it in this house. I mean, I'd love to get your take on it. I just, for me, it is the best news story of the year.
I think it's nothing more than a French national embarrassment. If you look at the news at the moment, there's a lot going on in France. I think they've had about 6 prime ministers in 3 weeks. One of their ex-prime ministers has just been put in jail. And actually, no, he was a president and prime minister previously. They're not in a good shape, our friends across the channel. However, the Louvre is the world's most famous museum. It is the house of the world's most famous piece of art, which wasn't, by the way, a great deal of distance away from everything that was nicked. I'm, of course, talking about the Mona Lisa. So for this to happen, and as you correctly say, for them to have got into the Louvre through a window on a first floor on the side of the museum that has absolutely no camera watching it whatsoever. And they've just
Idiots.
gone up there on like a cherry picker extendable
Yeah.
ladder, and it's. I remember watching The Rock. I love The Rock with Sean Connery, Ed
Yeah.
Harris, Nick Cage, and there's a moment where they just do sort of like a circle in some glass and then punch through it, and
Yeah.
that's like Hollywood. But that's what they've done.
Yeah.
It's absolutely laughable. Um, as a country, they must just be so embarrassed because, as you correctly say, and I agree wholeheartedly with everything, what has happened here is a movie script that would have been turned down. Someone would have said, yeah, people have watched this, but this is a little bit unrealistic. You need to go back and just redraft.
I am just obsessed with what those four people, and I'm sure there's other accomplices as well, have been up to over the last week. I imagine like some kind of warehouse, smoking Gauloise, someone's playing a bit fast and loose, someone's really nervous. Maybe there's been a scene where two people have had each other at gunpoint in an argument, and then the brains has gone, calm down, this is fine. The potential to double cross it, 100 million between four is good, 100 million between two is even better. It's like, what is going? How are they going to get rid of it? Are they going to melt it down? Are they going to sell it to some rogue gangster? It's all so interesting.
It's fascinating. If you look back at history, the Great Train Robbery, which I've read so much about, as you know, it's no secret. I love my trains. It's a fascinating story. And you made a valid point earlier about glorifying crime. It's not good, and almost like in UK history, we've glorified the Great Train Robbery. No, it's still
Yeah.
a robbery. That driver never drove a train again, and was horrifically injured as a result of it.
Mm.
So you kind of forget that there's human stories in robbery. However, in that particular robbery, they took more money from that train than they ever imagined. And as a result, when they got to the farmhouse 50 odd miles away, they were like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We've got
Yeah.
too much. This is a nightmare. And that's why it started to unfold so quickly and unravel. And they all got caught, and some of them got caught very quickly. And I wonder whether the ease of this heist and how well it's gone for them could still turn out to be, I know we say a week on, but it could still turn out to be the thing that undoes them, I think.
Yeah. I can't. I mean, similar story is the Brinksmat story,
Yeah.
which I'm quite obsessed with. Again, they got more than they were expecting. I'm quite obsessed with the jewel they dropped. Part of me thinks, like, what if they were like stealing to order, and there's some bad persons, and the 8 they've got actually weren't important, and the one they dropped is the person that Mr. Big expected, and now they're in the shit,
But then
despite
equally,
having
what do
all
you
this.
do with all of this stuff? Like, if you're going to rob money, money's money. You then go and
Money
buy
is
a nice
money.
Volvo or something or other. But like, we're
A
talking
Volvo.
here about the French crown jewels. So what do you do with that? Like, once you're in your farmhouse with your Gauloise,
Well, it
you're
is.
not going to smelt it down.
Well, but I understand that they are the two. It's smelting, or it's like someone untouchable by the law's private collection. And that, just for me, that feels too risky. I think it's gone. I think it may now already be smelted down, the stones taken out. It might already be in a new piece of jewelry on round someone's neck or around their finger right now.
So
It's
tell me,
amazing.
what are we reviewing here? Are we reviewing the security of the Louvre? Are we reviewing the achievement of the robbers? Tell me, how do you want to classify this?
Okay, 2 one-star reviews here. The security at the Louvre, the last 7 days in France. They
And
both
your
get one-star
pronunciation
reviews.
of Louvre as well is also one star.
Uh, uh, Désolé, monsieur. À la Louvre. I've been to the Louvre, and it actually astonishes me that they did this because it's so busy and there is so much security there. Um, let's review the heist, though. At this stage, 7 days in, knowing what we know, that's a 5-star heist. That's not a bunch of oiks nicking an iPhone on the back of an electric scooter.
Mm.
That is not some Egypt throwing a brick for a jeweler's window. This is epic scale stuff. There are tools, there are vehicles, there are speedy elements to this. They still haven't been caught. It's totally a 5-star heist. But crime is bad, kids. Crime is bad.
Let's dwell on that message, crime is bad, by listening to another message from our supporters. And we're back, and crime is still bad.
Crime is like I mean, some crimes are okay, but crime is mostly bad. Do not steal from your local museum. That's what I'm saying. Don't steal from your local museum. These things are for the people. Richie, tell me something that's happened to you this week.
Chris, I want to declare that the hand car wash game is gone. It's over. It's gone.
No.
Yeah, I
How? In
believe
what
it
way?
is. I believe it is. Let's just take a step back from what we know and recognise and analyse it right now. When the hand car wash game started, a good decade or so ago, maybe even more than that, it was a revelation. You would drive into... Well, I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know why
People
you're
have been
laughing.
washing cars by hand, Rich, for longer than 10 years, but please carry on.
No, you would walk into a deserted lot of some form, and predominantly a load of gentlemen would literally swarm over your car, and it would be washed really, really well, very quickly, in about 5-10 minutes, and then you're gone, and you've paid, and you kind of think, wow, that saves me doing that myself. That's incredible. Fast forward 15 years or so, give or take, various things have happened in the world. And we don't need to go into those. This isn't a political point. I'm just talking about the end result. And the hand car wash
52%.
game, is not what it was like. I went for a hand car wash at the weekend, and I queued for 45 minutes to get to the front of the queue to have my car washed. And it wasn't swarmed over. It was washed by two gentlemen with fags hanging out of their
Gauloise.
mouths. Gauloise. Maybe they were the thieves and they're disguising themselves. The whole process was an hour. And then I paid £45 for the ensuing wash. So the wash and the little valet that they do. And when I drove away afterwards, I'm thinking, what have they done for the hour of my time and the £45 that I am now done? I could have done that myself on my driveway with just a pressure washer. You don't even need that, to be quite frank. Just a hose with your thumb over it to make the water pressure a little bit better, and a bucket of soapy water. Could have done it myself. It would have cost me nothing. And I'm pretty damn sure I could have got it done in under the 55 minutes that they did theirs as well. So I'm calling it for what it is. For all of the shiny hand car washes that we now have, and for all of the little spritzes that they do, and all of their rags that are hanging up and all that kind of stuff, the game is gone. Do it yourself. And I guess the message that I want to say here is it's not necessarily about just hand car washing. I think there's so many things that when you look at, we've just let time pass and it would be better and quicker to do ourselves. To be quite frank, meals. Why do we go to restaurants and we pay all of that money? You sat there waiting for the food and all that kind of stuff. Just do it yourself at home. So much quicker, so much cheaper.
Are you saying that restaurants are over?
I'm not necessarily saying that restaurants are over, but
how's
I'm
your
saying
sushi preparation skills?
What I am saying is take a look at the hand car wash game, because I don't think it's what it was. Yeah, we're going back to that.
Okay. Why do people wash cars? They're just outside all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to confess here, and I don't think this will come as a surprise to you. I did. I was a scout as a kid, and I did Bob a Job week once. And I think I washed a couple of cars then. I think my dad once paid me a fiver to wash his car, and I did such a bad job he never paid me to do it again. Um, I've never washed a car. Like my car, like, I don't even know if Laura has done. I know our car just sits out there in the street, and then 3 years later we replace it, and I guess it gets cleaned then.
So
And
do you don't even wash it at all?
no, I
Or
like
do
when
you
there's like
use hand car washes?
never. Like when there's rubbish in it, I pick the rubbish up. Like every now and then, I'm like, this car is just like full of orange peel and sweet wrappers, and I sort of bring a plastic bag out and I put them in and I'll throw it in the bin. And I use
I
the
put
windscreen wipers to do the window bit. Um,
It's called the windscreen. I put it
that's
to you
fun.
that you are very much in the minority.
Am I? I don't
You
know.
you willingly said the other day that you would actually want to get rid of your car.
I do not fear the arrival of Waymo next year. For me, the arrival of driverless cars, the arrival of shared car schemes, the rise of the cycle path of electric bikes and vehicles is only a good thing for me.
Waymo?
That's the driverless taxis that are in the US. Is that what they're called?
Yeah. They're
They're coming
coming
to
here.
London. They're coming to London next year.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
then I
I'm
think
right.
we
I thought you'd
double.
be on that. I thought you'd be thrilled by that.
I was unaware of that. Well, I think then I doubled down on my declaration that the hand car wash game is over. It is over. Do it yourself, guys. Don't pay £45 for
Yep.
two gentlemen to do what 8 gentlemen used to do before we voted out.
And I think that remains the biggest single reason for a new referendum.
To bring back the hand car wash people.
As a let's also, what's it with restaurants?
Hand car washes at the moment, 2-star review. That's what I'm giving you guys. Still getting a clean car, but I'm paying too much and it's taking too long. Never used to be like this. I see you.
Damn workers' rights. Should we take a break and then do one more thing?
Let's do it. Chris, what else has been on your mind this week before we go and chat with our friends on the Patreon and tell them the thing that both of us want to review? But what else do you want to talk about?
Rich, I'm a feckless idiot and I can't hold on to anything without losing it. Um, I'm not like a big believer in things like destiny and things being written in the stars. But let me give you an example. I've got some wireless headphones. The ones I've got in today are my wife's headphones. Maybe I'll end up needing some microsuction after sharing them. And a couple of days ago, I was absolutely convinced I'd lost them. I'm like, oh my God, I've lost my headphones. What an idiot. I'm going to have to buy some more headphones. And then just before I bought some more headphones, I found them again. And then here I am now, end of the week. I've lost them again. I'd never lost them at all until this point, but I've lost them. On Wednesday, I did a workout in the park, lost one of my gloves. Not both, I lost one of my gloves. And how did I lose one of my gloves? Well, I lost both my gloves and then went to grab my bike and went to cycle home and found one of the gloves and went, oh, I've lost both of my gloves, but now I found one of my gloves. So then wandered around the park looking for the other glove, not to be found. What an idiot. And I just know I'm going to lose something. I just feel I'm going through a losing stuff phase. I think I need to glue everything I have to me or attach it to me in some way. This is not how I always am. This is a phase I am in right now where I literally can't be trusted to keep hold of anything.
I think I've got the solution. And it's a
Okay.
solution that I think will work for you. And it's something that I tell my wife all the time as well. And the two of you have something in common. You both operate at 200 miles an hour. What you need to do is you need to slow down. So many people are in admiration of you, and I am one, about how you're almost machine-like. You are machine-like. You'll just take on thing after thing after thing. Nothing phases you. You compute quickly, then you go. You're onto another thing. You need to dial it down. You need to slow down. You need to live life at a slow pace like myself. Do you know what? I don't lose things. I don't lose things at all. Because when I'm done with something, I think, right, I'm going to put that down here because I don't need to use it anymore. Because in a minute, I'm going to do something else. But I'm putting it down here. And when I need it later, that's where it's going to be. Because I've slowed everything down, got that thought process. You move around too quickly, and that's why you lose things.
Mate, I think that's like asking a sheep to hunt or a horse to cook your dinner. Like, I just don't think that's. I acknowledge your point. I think you explain why these things have happened this week well. I cannot disagree with that.
No, but you are disagreeing with it. You're using, for those people who are into football, you're using the Ange Postecoglou argument here by just going, it is what it is, mate. Don't complain about losing things. Be given a solution and go, I am what I am. You can't do that.
There are some times in my life where I realise I have an hour to kill, and I just walk around in circles.
I don't doubt that.
I don't know what to do. If there's live sport on, I can cope. But quite often I'll go, oh, okay, well, I've got an hour. I'm just going to bake something then. Do something. I appreciate your point, and I don't know that it's good that I behave like this. It's certainly not good that I've now got to fork out cash and a nice new pair of headphones and a pair of gloves. As it's autumn, as it's 6 degrees today.
Does anybody else ever say, slow down? Does your wife say to you, slow down, Chris? Does she see this? Is it the first time this has been said?
Look, I don't want this to be a therapy session, Rich, but yes, everybody says that. And I disagree with everyone.
I don't want it to be a therapy session, but one of the things I've noticed over the years and years and years we've known each other, when you're laughing at something, but it's a laughter that is kind of like an acknowledgement of like, he's right. What you end up doing is you end up rocking to and forth like this. And it's just like that. It's me. Oh, what's wrong with me?
Oh no, self-realization.
Hug me, mummy.
I don't know. Well,
do you think you've baked your headphones? Do you think you've baked your headphones when you had a spare hour?
That's a good point. I should look inside that loaf we've got downstairs.
That's a bit chewy, Chris. Is this earwax?
I mean, what am I? What do people? Do I just throw the other glove in the bin now? I guess I do, don't I?
There's no point because well, no, one or two things happen. Throw the other glove in the bin because whilst you're carrying around one random glove, it's a reminder of the fact that you've lost a glove. Equally, when you throw that other glove in the bin, that's when you'll find the other one.
Yeah. I'm more nervous about that happening with the headphones. I'm fairly convinced with, like, I know because I found one of the gloves in the park. I'm fairly confident the other one is somewhere in the park and that's gone. The headphones, I'm almost certain the only way I will find them is by buying another pair. And that's the only way. All of a sudden it's going to click and go, oh, of course, yeah, they're over there. But I'm going to have to go through the process of buying a new pair to find the old ones.
Oh, dear. And if only we hadn't wasted Patreon money on booking a colonic together, you would have been able to do that and justify it as a work expense.
We still need to buy those squash rackets, Rich. Are you still up for that?
I'm still up for that. I'm still up for squash. I'm still up for Mildly Informed sponsoring Intertube.
I emailed them. I genuinely emailed them, got no reply.
Oh, what a shame.
They ghosted us.
Oh, well, their loss. Look, what I don't want to be, just review losing things before I wind things up and we move to Patreon. Patreon? Oh, Patreon.
Oh, Patreon.
1-star review for losing things. What a surprise. Now, we are going to vanish pretty quickly to Patreon, spend the time with those who pay. So we'll see you regular ones next week for another episode. But maybe this is the week that you want to become a Patreon, because Chris and I, for the first time ever, are going to review exactly the same thing on our Patreon episode right now. You can leave your comments on the YouTube channel, or you can find us on our socials at Producer Chris, at Richie Firth. We can email us mildlyinformedpod@gmail.com. We'll see you next week, unless you're a patriot.